Hello everyone and welcome back to Fate Zero. This is episode 6 and last time we had the battle that finished. Like the first battle of the war is now over and it was a cool battle. I believe nobody actually died during this war. We all just retreated in our own ways. But it was a cool battle. Honestly, kind of crazy that that Saber even survived, because it felt like it was pretty heavily weighed against Saber. So it kind of shows like how badass she is, but also how the strategies all played out. You know, there was some things on all sides that were interesting and that made it so that we could survive. And I say we. I think when I'm saying we, for now, I'm gonna be referring to Saber's squad, which is Saber, Kiritsugu, and hold on, I got all my papers here, and Irisvale. Just because to me, they feel like the protagonist. I mean, Saber feels like the protagonist, if anyone, because she, because I've seen her on Fate promotional art back for forever, you know, so she's always, to me, felt like that's the Fate girl. So yeah, I kind of think of them as the protagonists, even though it feels like there's not really a protagonist to this series. But yeah, anyway, I'm really excited to jump into this. I always look forward to watching more of this. As I've said, this is one of those shows that as soon as I'm finished an episode, I genuinely really want to watch another one and try to see if I can fit it in my schedule, and I never can because I'm so busy. But it's always, you know, fun to watch nonetheless. So let's jump into Fate Zero. This is episode 6. If you want to watch episode 7 on my Patreon account right now, you can. Go into the description below, click the Patreon account. You can get the full-length version of the reaction on there right now for episode 7, next episode. So go check that out. You can also just support the video, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I have a One Piece channel called Jent Watches One Piece. If you like One Piece, go over there and check that out. So let's jump into this. This is Fate Zero, episode 6. Oh my god.
See? I told you this car takes the turns really fast.
Oh my god, careful.
Well, that's because you're... I know. You may not believe it, but I practice all the time. All brought me over the years. This is my absolute favorite.
Well, you just like driving?
At the castle, I was only allowed to drive around
god.
the courtyard, so this is great.
Shouldn't we have maybe hired a professional driver?
I mean, Saber, can't you drive? Isn't that your
I mean,
thing?
it could be really dangerous.
Well, I suppose you have a point, but stop the car.
Oh shit. Oh, it's dude. It's creepy dude. What's his name? Galace DeRace?
It's a servant.
Caster? Oh shit. Whoa. The car doors. Hello, creep.
I have come for you, my sweet and holy
He
virgin.
reminds me of Betelgeuse from ReZero.
Are you saying that you've forgotten my face?
Forgotten you. You mistake me for another.
It's me!
Oh,
Monsieur
God.
Delay, I'm all this way to the end of time, my Jean.
Who is Jean? Nor have I any idea who this Jean might be.
Jean?
No, not your former identity.
As you have
Okay.
seen fit to give me your name.
Very sad. She's lost her memory and gone completely insane.
What is his...
Curse him! Curse him!
Why does he think
Cruel torture
she's...
God inflicts upon my beautiful maiden, because the Holy Grail War has already ended. The Grail
You
has
think?
chosen me, Gilles, to be its champion. with
Gilles
no
is how you
fighting at all.
pronounce it.
The next strike will be real.
She has so much chivalry, I love it.
I will not rest until I can free your soul from the terrible prison of God's cruel curse.
Okay.
Well, to deal with one who ignores everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
Next time I shall strike before he's completely infuriated.
That must be what it's like being a woman.
However, this encounter may have actually been a fortunate
They
one.
just never listen to... People never
I
listen to
sensed
anything you
that he
say.
was too dangerous to face.
Of course, we must follow him.
So the assassins all have different voices?
The thumb needs to go like this.
Oh, God. Man, these two were made for each other. They're both so fucked up. Oh.
That no deed, no matter how foul, no crime, no matter how horrible, is worthy of God's punishment!
Oh my god, dude.
Get it? Blasphemies. We must erect a veritable Tower of Babel of human sacrifices!
Does that sound good to you?
From now on, it's quantity over quality?
Indeed! Exactly.
Oh,
so.
does that not resonate with you, Ryunosuke?
Impressive, Ryunosuke. And then we'll go acquire some more children for our revelries.
Does it make it feel more like a chore to him?
Kind of a waste, don't you think?
He likes the spectacle of individual murders. It's so fucked. It's fucked even talking about it.
Not once, but twice. You made me waste a command seal, and yet you couldn't finish the job, idiot.
Servant of the Grail War, I will bring you Saber's head.
You don't need to swear to me again. Of course you will. You made a pact with me to defeat all others for the Holy Grail.
Kane is a dick.
And now you sit there like a sniveling fool. What about this do you not understand?
Aren't you the one who's mistaken here? Lord Elmaloy?
Who we got here?
Salau.
Salau?
He couldn't allow a chance to defeat her pass me by without trying.
He inflicted a wound on her that cannot heal.
Yep.
By letting her go, you can defeat her at your leisure.
Mm-hmm.
If you merely stayed hidden and watched. Rather pathetic.
True. So true.
Honestly, Kenneth, distinct advantage over all the other masters.
Dude, you're
You
too
were the one who
cowardly.
ensured that servant pact that no one other than I knows anything about.
People love
You control
circling.
command seals, and I act as an additional master and supply the servant mana.
Oh.
Risks.
All right, that's enough of that. Any more will be an insult to my master. As a knight, I cannot allow it.
He's honorable, standing up for him even though he's a
I didn't mean
dick.
it like that.
She's interesting. Oh, but the mole probably charmed her, huh? I didn't even think about that. But they zoomed on the mole. That's why she backed down when he said something.
Saber's master will want to take down Lancer as soon as possible to lift his spear's curse and make her whole. Lancer, a perfect workshop requiring an entire floor. 24
okay.
barriers, 3 mana generators,
Whoa.
dozens of ghosts and spirits roaming as guard dogs, and parts of hallways that open into other worlds.
Damn, okay.
That I am pathetic very shortly.
Oh, I look forward to it.
That was me. Don't worry. And his wife, Solau, have exited.
Okay, his wife.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, explosion! Take down the whole fucking building! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god, that's fucking beautiful! Look at that! Oh, Ufotable. What a cool explosion.
From his position, he didn't leave the hotel before the explosion.
Surely not.
Fall from 150 meters. No magical
Surely he's
barrier
not
known to
dead.
man.
Aww. And he's not happy about that, I think, because he's thinking of his daughter.
Withdraw.
Oh, shit. Did she die? Did his assistant die?
I can't believe a mage would actually do something like that.
It's pretty badass.
Again, don't make me stand here doing all the talking, woman. One word from
Woman.
you will suffice. Instead of you.
Oh. Okay, she's not dead yet, but she might die.
Now training.
Whoa.
Just the knowledge that someone was here to save her from this situation means tonight wasn't a total waste.
Lay, we've located the servant caster.
Shit,
After having
man.
sent
Oh,
a
man.
detailed investigation.
So much stuff going
The
on.
caster and his master have kidnapped children from their beds. It is quite possible that they are not even thinking of the Holy Grail War.
A mad servant out of control, and a master who doesn't even try to control him.
Yep.
People like them participating in the Grail War.
Rules by which we are all bound.
Of course. As one
What do you do
responsible
about
for guarding
that?
the secrets of magic, this
What do you do when someone's breaking the rules?
We'll have all of the masters work as a group to defeat Castor.
Oh, all the masters? Okay.
What do you mean?
Otherwise, a master
Look at
existing
him
under
right
the
now.
kind protection of the church would. He wants to reach the vortex of the root. What a boring and tedious little plan.
It doesn't sound like many people would satisfy
The
you,
unflinching
Gilgamesh.
desire for the root. We mean that it has limitless potential to alter even the reality of the material world.
So you're saying the other masters?
What the other masters seek is one form or another of success here in the material world.
Yep.
For power.
That suits me fine. I love every one of those things.
You are a king who rules over the profane and the vulgar. Nothing. I have no real desire for it.
Really?
I seriously doubt that. Doesn't
What about to
the Holy
bring back
Grail
your
call
wife?
Only those masters whom it considers worthy of possessing it.
So why choose me for this battle?
No ideal or other desire? Then why not simply wish for something like joy?
Ridiculous. Wish for joy?
That's a good
You'd
point.
ask me to long for something that blasphemous and sinful?
Blasphemous.
Well,
True,
you-
joy gained by evil means could be considered sin.
Yep. But
joy
what about
may
just
be attained
pure
through good
joy?
deeds as well.
Yeah.
Joy is another quality that I lack.
It's
I seek
it
it,
seems like a
but never find it.
product of your religion holding you down.
Kire kotomine.
You're just a mere servant, and you dare sit there and lecture me?
I mean, it's interesting that he's given you like life
I am the
advice.
king who has tasted all the pleasures the world has to offer. Kire, you ought to learn what pleasure is. But look first to the outside.
I have no time to waste on pointless trivialities.
I don't know, man. You're wandering around pretty slowly. You got
Do everything The
time.
jobs Tokiomi assigns you. You should investigate not only their plans, but their motivations for obtaining the Grail as well. Then give that information to me.
That's a good idea.
That would be possible if I asked the assassins.
One or two of them are sure to be interesting enough to keep me entertained for a while.
Okay. He's trying to find some extra motivation.
My reason for seeking the Holy Grail? I said far more than I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it certainly isn't joy.
More info.
What it is I seek as well.
Okay. No one.
Kiritsugu.
Oh.
Emiya.
So you want to learn about Kiritsugu? Okay, another very enjoyable episode. And I mean, this episode, there was like a little bit of action in it, but it was like a lot of, you know, a lot of world building, character building. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it. Plot. The plot was driving forward. It's not to say that there wasn't forward momentum on the plot. There certainly was. Now I'm adding a new empty box to my sheet and putting solar no, I believe it's spelled SOLA-UI. But hang on. Yep, I just checked the subtitles. So yeah, it's spelled SOLA-UI. But they pronounce it Solau, I think. Very strange name, but so it seems like she is was it the wife? Yeah, the wife of Cainith. And I think they said that they're kind of joint masters of Lancer because she's providing the mana while he's doing like the commands. I don't know, like, functionally what that's gonna mean for the, you know, like, does that mean if you take out one of them, like, you know, for generally I think both the mana and the commands are provided by the same person, right? So like, for example, if Kiritsugu is, I am guessing, providing both the mana and the command seals. So if you killed Kiritsugu, then Saber would go away, I would guess. But maybe if you take out Cainith, then Lance is still around. They just don't have any more commands on him because the command seal will be gone. Maybe? I mean, that's what I'm guessing. But if you take out her, then Lancer will be gone. And then, I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I guess the point is you hide her away. Don't have her be in the action so that they're just going to go after Kenneth. But it's interesting seeing the ways that these different characters like approach this. They all have their own like different strategies, and it's just kind of cool like to see. It's cool that we're seeing basically all of them do their shit at the same time. And I like that they're kind of like outsmarting each other or coming up with their own things. And there's, you know, it's not super straightforward. Like you could easily write this story in a very straightforward manner. Of, okay, these characters are going over here and they're going to fight. And then they're going to go over here and they're going to fight. But they're genuinely all trying to do these really clever things to outsmart each other. So in this episode, I mean, Kiritsugu seems like he just evacuated an entire building. But then he did that thing where the guy was like, the guy was saying like, oh, Kenneth, there's Kenneth here. And then Kiritsugu goes up to him and goes, yes, Kenneth and his wife evacuated already, or something. Like, he said it, and it gave me a very, like, these are not the droids you're looking for type moment, where it's like, he said it, and the guy was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember, and then crossed it off. Like, did he use some sort of magic to manipulate him, to make him believe that? Because otherwise, it sounded like a very bad lie. Like, you're just going to take this guy's word for it? He just goes like, oh yeah, they evacuated already. Don't worry, you can cross them off your list, you know? So either that guy's terrible at his job or there was some sort of manipulation that happened there. But I don't think they illustrated it with like a animation or anything or like a sound effect. Like sometimes you'll have, you know, a zoom in and a drone like a... or like you'll have a bling or something, you know, to signify that. But they didn't do it here, so I don't know. Like that could mean that there wasn't any tomfoolery at play. Or there is, but they don't want it to be like so obvious. They want you to be asking questions about how we did that, you know? Yeah, I thought that was pretty sick how he just blew up an entire fucking building. We didn't see Kenneth and Solau after that, but I mean, there's no way they died. There's no way Solau and Kenneth were taken out by that. Especially like setting up the whole Lancer and Saber rematch. Can you imagine if it just didn't happen because the very next episode they just got blown up in a building? So I don't think that's the case. So we also have how do you pronounce his name? Gio, who believes that Saber is someone named, I think they were saying Jean. I wrote it like Jean. So he thinks that she's Jean and that that Saber doesn't remember. Now it could be one of those things where like, oh, he's a crazy guy, so we think he's crazy, but actually he's telling the truth, and like she does actually have an identity she doesn't know about. But I think it's more likely that he's just insane. He's just like she resembles someone else, and he just is so obsessed with it and just like is so nasty. I mean, as Irisville said in that scene, like it's frustrating talking to someone when they just don't listen to a word you say. Like it didn't matter how much they said like, no, I'm not her. He was not going to be hearing it. Speaking of, I liked that little development at the start of Irisville just driving, and she's just drifting around corners, and she loves driving cars. I don't know why. I just think that's a really cute detail about her character. Especially because she's like, as far as we know, she's like a puppet. So I'm imagining she's not like fully human. And like the way she speaks sometimes as well makes me feel like she's you know, robotic-ish in a way. She's still very like it seems like she still has emotions and all of that, but she's definitely like gives me the vibe that she's kind of like robotic in nature. But then you see those moments and she's doing this out of pure joy. She just loves driving and drifting and like driving really dangerously. I don't know. I think that's a cute character moment for this series, which I you know, I'm in this series for like the intrigue and the animation and the cool factor of this series. But I wasn't necessarily in this series expecting, you know, to like the character work necessarily. I had no idea if the character work was going to be good or not. But so far I'm enjoying it. I think the character work is solid, and I want to see much more. I'm looking through my notes. Oh yeah, they also said the thing about like, so Caster and Ryunosuke, the judge who is, hold on, I've got these names. Rise is the judge, right? And he was saying like that Caster and Ryunosuke are really doing horrible shit. Like they aren't really doing the battle properly. It's like Gilles is just going and doing whatever he wants. He's not doing the war properly, and Ryunosuke is not commanding him to do anything related to the war. They're just doing their own shit. And so Rise was saying like, look, this is kind of against the rules of the thing. So he said like he would maybe get all the masters to take down Caster together. So like I was thinking, because I said during the episode, like, how do you actually referee this match? Because like the thing is, in a normal tournament or whatever, right? There's the prize, and then like the referees are there to make sure you follow the rules, and if you break the rules, you're disqualified and you can't get the prize, right? That's the general way tournaments work. But I don't think that's technically how it works here, because the prize is like the Holy Grail War isn't like as far as I can tell from the lore that we've understood so far, it's not like a war that the church has put together and they've gone like, oh, and the winner will get this Holy Grail or whatever, right? It's the Holy Grail appears and chooses the things on its own. It's like its own entity, and then the church steps in as a third party and just goes, and we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna make sure that everyone's playing fair. Like the church aren't actually in charge of the Grail, I don't think. They don't have any control over that side of things. Otherwise, I imagine if they did, they would just be taking the Grail for themselves, I would be guessing. So I'm pretty sure from what I've been gleaning from the series so far, they're just, as I said, they're a third party, but they just like have made themselves in charge of the way that the war runs. You know, in a way that like there are war crimes in the world that are generally agreed upon by every country, where it's like, we're gonna play by these rules, like even though it's war and we're fighting each other, we're still gonna play by certain rules while fighting each other so that nobody goes too far. So I can see like how that comes into play, but like the question is, when someone breaks that rule, what can the church do? Can they, like, because I don't think they can say, well, you're disqualified, because theoretically, if the church says, well, you're disqualified, Ryunosuke goes, I don't give a shit, and Ryunosuke kills all of them and then gets the Holy Grail, he still gets the Holy Grail, right? Like, I don't think it matters at that point. He wins. Regardless of whether he played by the rules or not, I think. Now, I don't have enough information in the series to know that yet, but that's what I'm guessing from what I've seen. So I think the answer to my question of like, what can the church do, is everyone else who's agreed to play by the rules will then be told by the church, like, hey, so this person's breaking the rules, therefore everyone is mandated to take out this one guy. So I guess that's what it's gonna be. And they technically, you know, like, everyone else has to go after Caster, or they're breaking the rules, and then everyone will come after them. So I guess that's how it works. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, because it seems like they wanted to send everyone after Caster, which is kind of crazy that, like, they've made so many enemies already. But oh well. Anything else? Oh yeah, and then there was that sort of like final talk between Kirei and Gilgamesh, and yeah, I mean, there was a lot of interesting things there. I think we gotta learn about Kirei. I think we gotta understand, like, more about what he's about. He was the one who lost his wife, right? Like, well, I've got written next to his picture on my on this sheet, lost his wife. So I believe he did. It's kind of like, I don't know how the Holy Grail works. I kind of imagined bringing someone back from the dead would have been, like, within its purview, but maybe it's not. Maybe you can't do that. So if that's the case, then maybe he can't just bring back his wife. But yeah, I wonder what his actual motivations are, because, I guess part of it is he might not even know what his motivations are. He was saying he needs to understand Kiritsugu more so that hopefully he can understand himself, I guess. I think he's seeing a lot of parallels between himself and Kiritsugu. And I think Kiritsugu himself kind of, you know, has not a crazy strong motivation currently, you know, like he seems like a kind of surprisingly emotionless guy a lot of the time. So yeah, maybe there are some strong parallels between them, but we'll see. But I liked that Gilgamesh said, hey, go and find out everyone else's motivations, because if that's the way the story is going to tell us more of their motivations, then that would be very cool, you know? I would like to learn more about all these characters' motivations. We know some of them. Like, we know Kari's, for example. I think we know his motivation pretty well. He's trying to save the girl, so he needs to get the Grail to give to the fucking old guy, right? So we know some motivations, but we don't know all of them, so can't wait to find out. Anyway, that was Fate Zero, episode 6. I love this show, man. I love it. I can't wait to watch more. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get next week's episode of Fate Zero on there right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.